welcome to the second episode of the SCC Online Weekly Rewind. I am Prachi Bharadwaj, and today I have got for you some interesting updates from the courts, the legislations, and one fact check. In a very important ruling, the Supreme Court has asked the courts to refrain from using words and reasoning that diminish the sexual offences and the trauma of the survivor. The ruling came after Madhya Pradesh High Court asked a sexual offence survivor to tie Rakhi to the offender. In another important verdict, the Supreme Court has held that a person who is ineligible under Section 29A of IBC to submit a resolution plan is also barred from proposing a compromise scheme under Section 230 of the Companies Act. The court said that allowing such persons a backdoor entry would lead to a manifest absurdity. In another important verdict, the court has held that the Consumer Protection Act 2019 does not call for the transfer of proceedings initiated under the 1986 Act in terms of the pecuniary jurisdiction provided for the fora established under the new Act. Data indicates that as on 31st of October 2019, over 21,000 cases were pending before the NCDRC and over 1.25 lakhs of cases were pending before the SCDRC. Now, in such circumstances, the court said that transferring all these cases will seriously dislocate the interest of the consumers. Considering the object of speedy disposal sought to be achieved by the Arbitration Act and the Commercial Courts Act, the court has held that the delay for filing appeals is to be condoned by way of exception and not by way of rules. In a historic decision, the Kerala High Court has asked SCC to consider the enrollment of a trans woman in the female wing. While doing so, the court said that we cannot take recourse of the outdated provisions of 1948 while dealing with the situations of life in 2021. In a trademark and copyright infringement case, the Bombay High Court has held that the Copyright Act does not require mandatory registration for seeking protection under the Act. In the Amazon Future Deal case, the Delhi High Court has held that the current Indian legal framework is sufficient to recognize the emergency arbitration and there is no necessity for amendment in this regard. In an interesting case before the Court of Amsterdam, the court has allowed access to the individual ratings of the private hire drivers of Uber subject to certain conditions and has rejected the requests relating to tags, driver profiles, ratings, etc. The Rajya Sabha has passed the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Bill 2021. The key features of this bill are: first, the gestation period has been increased from the existing 20 weeks to 24 weeks for special categories of women such as rape survivors and other vulnerable women. 2. The opinion of one medical practitioner will be necessary in case of termination of pregnancy of up to 20 weeks. In case of 24 weeks, the opinion of 2 medical practitioners will be required. 3. The gestation period of 24 weeks for termination of pregnancy will not apply in case of substantial fetal abnormalities diagnosed by the medical board. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs has made some significant amendments to the Companies Act 2013. The key amendments are: first, the provision under Section 23(1) that deals with annual returns will be made applicable from 5th of March 2021. 2. The option for Aadhaar authentication for GST registration of company incorporation has been inserted. 3. Another important insertion, that is a new form MGT 7A for annual return of OPC and small companies. 4. The amendment has also omitted the requirement of attaching form number MGT9 to board report. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways notified the All India Tourist Vehicles Authorization or Permit Rules 2021. These rules will come to effect from 1st of April 2021. By way of these rules, a tourist vehicle operator can obtain authorization and permit by way of payment of fees. Authorization or permit shall be valid throughout India. This authorization and permit can be transferred from one person to another only with the permission of the jurisdictional transport authority. And the authorized tourist vehicles should have a valid insurance coverage for passenger liabilities as well as the drivers. Time for the SCC online fact check. The image of a Hindi newspaper clipping with the heading सांसदों का भत्ता बढ़ाने को मंजूरी, that is, increase in the salaries of MPs approved, has been doing rounds on social media. As per this article, the salaries of the MPs will increase from 1st of April. However, our fact check team has found out that it is in fact an old news from 2018. In 2018, an amendment was brought which said that the salaries of the MPs will be automatically up for revision every 5 years. So the next revision will take place in 2023. In fact, recently, through an ordinance in 2020, the salaries of the MPs were reduced up to 30% owing to the corona pandemic. That is all from this week. Stay tuned to our channel for more such updates.